Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ssozi Nathan. I'm going to be taking you through the components that make up a computer system. And this one is a computer. Inside the computer it looks like this. We have a hard drive. This is a SATA hard drive. If we can remove the face. We have this one is an optical drive. This one is, if you can read, is a DVD writer. Now the DVD writer is also having SATA connector. The SATA connector has one portion for the power and another portion for the data. I have a SATA connector, or the data connector for the SATA. And then we do have what we call a power supply. A power supply is used to convert direct current that comes from the computer, and it converts it to direct current, which is the lower voltage, and that is the 12 volt voltage. Inside the computer, we do, you go down to the connector, we have this one, the 24-pin motherboard power connector, and this one is the one used to power the motherboard. And we have this one, the 4-pin connector, which is called the auxiliary power connector, which is used to power the central processing unit. We have also what we call a random access memory. The computer I'm using is a dual core, and it uses DDR2. It has 4 slots of RAM. If you go to the motherboard, down on the motherboard, we have these ones. We call them the RAM banks, or the RAM slots, and this is where you put your random access memory. We do have another, we have the chipsets. This one is called a north bridge, and this one is called a south bridge. We have these ones, the bus slots, and these ones in white, we call them PCI, or peripheral component interconnection. Component interconnect. We have PCI Express. The PCI Express, we have one which is by 16, the one which is bigger, and we have a one which is smaller, and this one is called by 1. If you read on the motherboard, it has X1, and this one has X16, which is by 16. We have these ones here. Those ones are the data connector to the SATA channels. We have a system speaker. That one, we use it most of the times for troubleshooting. Whenever, let's say for example, you don't have, the memory is faulty, it's going to make a beep, and the beep that comes out, it comes out from this system speaker. We have this one, which is called the CMOS battery. The CMOS battery is the one which is used. We have what we call the chipset. It can be the what we call the it can be the BIOS. If it's not the BIOS, at times we call it EUFI. That is a chipset which stores the BIOS when the computer is starting, like the post and all that kind of stuff. So if I want to reset my computer back to the factory settings, I'm supposed to remove the CMOS battery, and everything goes back to the default. If we look at the motherboard, down on the motherboard, we have this kind of connector, and this one is called the audio. For the front panel, we have the audio where you connect the jacks for the sound. This is where it connects. If you look at it, it misses a pin in the middle. It misses a pin in the middle. Then we have another connector which looks just like almost the same, but they're different because this one misses a pin at the end. So that one is called a USB connector. A USB connector. Now if you look behind the computer, before we go beside the computer, we have the central processing unit. For the central processing unit is covered with a heatsink fan assembly. This is a heatsink, and then on top it has a fan. Okay. If we can open, let's see how the CPU looks like. Yeah, so this is a central processing unit. If I open it up, it is a pinless central processing unit, no pins whatsoever. So the CPU is the brain of the computer system. When I'm putting it back, actually I need to follow up, this arrow which should face the locker. I put back my memory, and RAM is used for temporary storage when the computer is working. If your computer is not having memory, it doesn't display anything on the screen. So memory or RAM is used to temporarily store information when the computer is working. But it is non-volatile. It is volatile, which means that it loses power when the connection is off. When the computer is off, it is volatile. It loses the data when the computer is off. So let's put back the RAM. Okay, so there is also a connector for the fan. When you insert the CPU, back the CPU, and then you want to put back the heatsink fan assembly. This one, when the CPU sits back, you need to make sure that the fan has been connected. If the fan is not connected, the computer is going to heat and will keep on restarting. So let's look at the other connectors. If I look at these, there is this kind of connector which goes to the floppy, and this one is called a bag connector. This one is called a SATA power connector, which is used to power the hard drive. If you're connecting it, it goes right here. And then after connecting the other power, the power connector, you have to also make sure that you have a data connector, and then you have to connect the data bus. I connect this here, and it goes back to the hard drive. So now my hard drive has power, and it has the data connection. Okay. Now if we go behind the computer, we have what we call input and output ports, or where we connect the peripherals. And this one is what we call the VGA, the Video Graphics Array port. That is the one which connects to the monitors or the projectors. We have what we call the universal serial bus interface or ports, and those ones are the ones here. And then we have also what we call the network interface port, which connects our computer to the network. We have the sound input and output ports, where you connect the speakers and the microphones. So that is the components that make up the computer system. If everything is done, you've connected the memory, everything is just fine. Like, I need to connect also back my audio connector. I need to connect back my USB connector. And then I need to connect the power, central processing unit, and I need to connect the auxiliary power connector back its port, and then now I can put back my hard drive. Yeah, the hard drive is good. I need to put back the optical drive. Need to give it also the power, just like I did to the central processing unit. Sorry, it goes in this way. And then I need to give it also a data connector, which is going to go to the SATA channel. And then after that, I connect my connector, and then everything looks good. Everything looks good. So let me put back the face. Yeah, we're good to go. And then I can go ahead and close my computer. Let's see what happens after connecting everything back. I need to make sure that I have a connection and my computer is powered. I should also connect my keyboard. The mouse. So let's see. If we start up the computer, I think the power is not connected. Let's find out. Okay. Missing something here. The power connector is not connected. The switch is not connected. The switch is not connected. So we connect the switch. I believe now we are good to go. The switch was not connected. Now it is connected. So let's see what happens. If we start our computer, it starts. Yeah, so that was how to set up, the components that make up a computer system. My name is Ssozi Nathan, and again, I want to thank you for viewing.